Okay, so if you watch my previous Road to Trolls 3 videos, you've been noticed I've been talking a lot about the merchandise. And I'm doing kind of another one, but we're not going to be titling it Road to Trolls 3, since we have a little bit more and I can make an interesting video about the merchandise, but also the movie too. So, one good thing, actually, two good things, is that we finally know that Moose Toys is like officially doing merchandise. Not only that, but Hasbro is also helping out Mattel in terms of board games, but there could be some more cross promotions that they do outside of the board game board great board game area. There we go. That was hard to say. So because of those two things, I'd say we're returning back to 2016 again. But a lot more interesting, and I feel like there's a lot of lessons learned from why the World Tour era just wasn't great. In terms of the Mattel side, I gotta be honest, I can only see them doing is copying Hasbro and what they did for the past two eras of Trolls, and then them doing their own original things with the brand. Not only that, but I see them actually doing toy commercials. That's something World Tour just really lacked in. In fact, we only got one, and it was for the fashion doll line. But that commercial is very rare and hard to find when you're actually watching TV. And that kind of shows you the issues with Hasbro during the World Tour era. So there's a plus side to Mattel. But Moose is the best thing ever that's going to happen to Trolls during this era. Moose is pretty much our Just Play. Just Play did the plushies, but they also did like a lot of electronic toys, dolls, and a lot more. I don't know if they helped out during the Trolls 1 era. I don't really think they did, though. I think Hasbro did a lot of the heavy lifting, and then when it came down to World Tour, they just couldn't. So, Moose Toys doing it, that's actually the best thing ever. Simply because not only are we going to get better plushies than Just Play, but they're going to be the ones to keep the brand going a lot longer. One issue that I think both Hasbro and Mattel learned, especially Mattel having the brand, is they realized, and even DreamWorks too, I think they realized we're only going to do a quarter year of merchandise, and then whatever will last till the following full year. And then if we want to do something the following year, maybe another quarter year. In terms of World Tour, it was only a quarter year of Hasbro merchandise. Then they stopped in the middle of like November of that year. And then they did like one big batch of Trollstopia merchandise and they dipped. Just Play did a quarter year merchandise, did their last wave of plushies, and dipped. Moose, on the other hand, they're not ones to really dip. In fact, they're the ones to see what works, what doesn't work, and if they want to continue the brand licensings going forward. A big example is they're the distributors of Bluey merchandise. And let me tell you, they got some bangers. They actually have proper plushie waves. They have a lot of playsets. They're great with figurines and electronics. They are well versatile, and they're willing to actually give waves of merchandise out. They're good at stopping a wave when it needs to stop, and then move on to another wave. They're good at keeping a brand's license for a long time. which is what Trolls needs. The Trolls brand really needs a toy licensing person to literally keep the brand going for so long. Here's something funny. In Kanto merchandise, it's kind of in this weird position where it's like it's on like a steady slowdown, but Moose Toys is the ones that are like still continuing it very slowly, but they're at least keeping the brand still in people's eyes. And I feel like Trolls is going to get that. But not only that, but the 2016 magic of really the collect them all spirit, but everyone is welcome to the brand again. And that's what we desperately need for Trolls again. I will say this though. The best thing about Trolls focusing on a girl's demographic during World Tour was the fact that they finally learned that the brand is for much older audiences too. During the 2016 to 2018 era, Trolls was only for babies till about 9 and 10. That was the cutoff. But for World Tour, they found out that it's really from babies to preteens to teenagers, and that's it. That was their cutoff point. Them learning that is very important. And I think that together, Mattel and Moose are going to do the best job ever. Now on to the branch portion of this. So as I said before, it seems like with Moose Toys, they're the ones that are actually the ones that are willing to go back to 2016 more than anything. Let everyone feel involved with the brand again. And that's actually great when you actually look at the movie we're getting. And I generally hope that we're really going back to 2016 where there's a divide. Poppy gets stuff and Branch gets stuff. And because of that, we actually have a movie that's giving us something interesting. Instead of Poppy being the protagonist, she's the supporting protagonist, where Branch is the main protagonist. From Trolls 1 to World Tour, it was the opposite. Not only that, but to quote Branch in the first Trolls movie, they're your friends. Until the snack pack became Branch's friends. But that line has a point. If you look back at a lot of merchandise for the snack pack, it's typically Poppy and the rest of the snack pack, no Branch. There's those rare exceptions where you would see the lineup of the snack pack. Like, if you've seen the snack pack lineup with just Poppy in it, they would use that render, but they would either use the render of Poppy and Branch hugging, or they would use the two different Poppy and Branch renders, or at least a different Branch render. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about with this. But if you don't, you get what I mean. The snack pack, before Branch was included, it was just Poppy in the snack pack. So really, that's exclusive to Poppy and Branch, but mostly Poppy. World Tour, I can't really tell you what Branch really got in the end. That's really just exclusive to him. Band Together, on the other hand, Branch has his own version of the snack pack, but an actual family, the Brozone. And right there, that's a hook, line, and sinker to bring back your boy's demographic again for merchandise again. But not only that, but it brings back that proper divide Trolls needs. The boy side, girl side, in between. 2016 was doing this. and it helped out. Heck, it helped out the US most importantly with this brand because it lasted so long. World Tour, it barely scraped by. Quarter year, not bad. But by the time you got to that full year, it wasn't great. It was not a good look. But since we have Mattel, kind of, we'll see what they do with their own original Trolls ideas, but it seems like they're pretty willing to just copy what Hasbro did. So not only are we getting that, but we're getting Moose Toys, who are more willing to let the brand have proper waves of merchandise and last longer. And thirdly, we have the Bro Zone, something that's exclusive to Branch, but something that can cater to the boys' demographic of this franchise. But not only that, but given what we've seen of Moose Toys' toys that they're going to release, it seems like we're going back to 2016 again, which means everyone in the brand can feel included, but they can still market at a girl's demographic, but be also more open to also working their way to get a boys demographic like they did in 2016. So really, in the end, I think that this kind of Branch era we're receiving and band together will definitely help the marketing and the merchandising side of Band Together.